had you seen any of what Dark Side of the Ring had done prior to them reaching out to you?
Yeah. Oh, I had, and it took me 2 years, I think it was, to even talk to them because I had seen some things that weren't the most flattering, I guess I could just say, of some of my friends, and the tone. I just didn't ever want my career to be looked upon as a dark side of anything, because certainly it was a devastating premature end to a career, but it didn't define my whole life. And I wanted to make sure if we told the story, and of course you're encapsulated in 40 some minutes of airtime, one of those shows, that it didn't take a twisted turn that I couldn't see, because I didn't see the finished product till everybody else did. So I had no idea what it was going to look like at the end of the day, other than the producers were very accommodating and gracious and did everything they could to make me feel good about it, and told me from the beginning they wanted it to be different than things they'd done in the past. They wanted to be able to tell a story that had a positive turn. And so all in all, that was what they gave me at the end of the day.
That was a lot of the feedback that I had heard. Was everybody was like, "Man, it was a great episode. It was very different from what they're usually up to on Dark Side of the Ring, where it's not, it's not like they're actively burying guys, but they are just focusing on some of the more difficult times in people's lives."
And unfortunately, from a ratings perspective, most people want to know the car wreck, or they want to know the travesty, they want to know the drama and the things that took place behind the scenes. And we certainly were great subject matter for that, because we lived as crazy a lifestyle as any human being could have, back during our heydays. And those of us that were lucky enough to survive it, we got a lot of stories and a lot of things we probably take to our grave. So,
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to so this is for our company, or rather the network that we're with is called adfreeshows.com, and we just had a big event down in Huntsville, Alabama. And I just returned from that today at noon, and I was fortunate enough last night to spend some time with David Crockett, and I had mentioned to him that I was going to be speaking with you today. And man, he had some stories to tell, and I'm sure it was just the tip of the iceberg.
well, he was right there in the thick of it with us. Him and his brother both, were very hands-on people, and were at live events with us, and part of the crazy aftermath parties that took place and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, none of us would have survived in a modern era. We were like the last of a breed of outlaws that wasn't being under the microscope and having to be politically correct. And there was no cancel culture back then, or we'd have probably all been hung in public.
And thank goodness there's no, cell phones back in those days. Some of the video that people could have been recording. Whew,
No,
my goodness.
it's. I mean, when I laugh when I hear, oh, this happened to this one, or this got exposed here because of that, and blah 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 blah. I'm thinking, man, 7 days a week, you could. I mean, everybody on the whole roster could have been completely upside down in a nanosecond.